such an asshole.
Oh, we got to help the women. And I'm not good at helping the women because I never was one. And as much as we complain about the women on this channel, it's not that much better for the ladies when it comes to the men. I'll admit that. It's only markedly improved because men are more traditional. I see a little bit more effort, but a big mistake a lot of us make on this realm of the sphere is we assume everybody's like us. And then again, just go to a Walmart and look at the average man. You're like, oh yeah, the women ain't got a lot of choice either. So let's try our best. Hello, Mr. Clary. Please keep me anonymous. To start with, I want to say thank you for the great practical advice you offer on your YouTube channel. You've been like a big brother I've never had the past 5 years of my life. Ever since I watched your video about cutting through high school BS and going straight for community college with a GED, I've done exactly that in my teen years and got into the medical field with a stable job and I'm currently majoring in a step. Look at you, skip 2 years or hopefully. Oh man, that's great. That's great. Oh, this goes into the file of happiness. I'm a girl from a very traditional, conservative Asian family, and I've done well for myself in my career and my independent life. This will be my family's 15th year in the U.S., and so far life is good. I'm so happy I got when you came here. I told you not to go along with the U.S. BS, and you avoided all. Oh man, you stuck it to the system, man. You denied them too. Tell me you like skipped all of high school and like got your degree like when you were like 16. I've mortgaged a house for my family, paid off our car. Here's that Asian culture again, where I guess children are just slaves. Hey, land of freedom, but you're still a slave to your parents. And I'm practically raising my younger siblings right now and taking care of my aging parents. My parents didn't do much planning, hence all the responsibility fell on me to get my act together at such a young age. Oh, really? Wow. We're just letting in the greatest people ever in this country. Due to being the third parent, I've always been the mature person among my peer group, and I tend to have better friendships with people older than my age group. I don't smoke or drink, and I've never gone out partying or clubbing. You didn't miss much. I'm not in that scene. I much prefer indulging my hobbies in my free time anyway. At this point in my life, my parents want me to get married. Well, screw them. I'm sorry. You got to put food. You got enough on your plate. So they're nagging. You have a right to ignore. And I do too. That's fine, but you may have other bigger issues to tend to. Especially that I'm in my prime of early 20s. The problem being it'll be an arranged marriage. Because your parents know what's best, right? Watch my video. If your parents are not successful, why are you listening to them? I know I'm being very vague, but without getting too deep into the culture, my major concern is a culture clash between the differences between mentalities if I agree to the arranged marriage. All right, let's stop right here right now. Not only morally and ethically do you have every right as a human being to do as you please, as you are an adult, you also have every cultural right to do as you please in these United States of America. But most importantly, above those two things, ignoring being moral, you pay for yourself and you also pay for your parents. And I would tell them, here is a big cup of STFU and I will do what I want. Now, all I'm going to say is you have every moral, cultural, and financial right to do as you please. And you do not have to succumb to your family's basically holding you hostage or leveraging their love or their culture or their desires or their wishes or their blood over you, right? You really need to resist that. And you have every right to say, what do I want? If you don't want an arranged marriage, you don't have to have an arranged marriage, okay? And you could tell your parents to shut the F. I'm sure you love your parents. I'm sure it does nothing but anger me to see not just immigrant kids or cultures coming over here and then the parents owning, but anytime parents, especially if they're losers, tell their kids what they are and aren't going to do and who they are and aren't going to marry when they come to these United States of America. Yay, land of the free, but we're not going to let you be free. By the way, pay for us. Really pisses me off. But the most important deal breaker for me is I've always wanted to adopt kids. Hey, see this dumpster fire? Get more garbage. Let's make it really complicated. And I know no one in my culture has any kind of tolerance for that, though there are plenty of starving kids in the streets back home that could use a roof over their heads from a war. Are they going to grow up to be like your parents, or are they going to be productive people like you? I guess with you as a mom, they're going to be productive. I guess I should not worry about your children, adopted or not. Coming from a conservative family, neither my mother nor father ever talked to me about men, so I feel like a babe in the woods when it comes to dating in Western society. It's a mess. I don't know where to start looking for quality men as a life partner, especially one that's open to adoption. I'm lost and without a clue where to even start with my search, and that's why I want to reach out for you some advice. I don't ask too much of men. That's all right. They don't have a lot to offer here. Only that they be genuine human being, competent, physically healthy, and have no more than a 20-year age gap for me. All right, so you're willing to go up to 43 or so. Again, please keep me in. I'm not telling anybody anything. You're in your early 20s. You're short. You're in shape. You work out 3 times a week. You have a stable job. No college debt. Paying your way through a STEM degree. You speak multiple languages just modestly. Plenty of hobbies. Manage your finances well. A big issue is going to be your parents' parasitism. Your parents are a liability, and your siblings. Now you want to adopt. Here's your first major hurdle. A guy's going to want a honeymoon period. Okay. And no man wants to raise some other woman's family. Frankly, as an American man, I'm getting sick and tired of foreigners and immigrants coming in here saying, hey, great, I'm here and I'm an American too. So you are. But you see, I want you men to keep giving my family money because I like that aspect of our culture. It's just our culture. Get your ass back to wherever you came from then. Stop asking people to give you money. That's not American. Well, it is now. It's the Democrat Party. So that's a big hurdle right off the bat. I consider myself an average-looking woman and not as emotional as my female counterparts when it comes to confronting conflict and facing challenges because I think with a level head, hence why I excel at my job. I literally see women in my workplace much older than me whining, complaining, sometimes sobbing in the face of a difficult task. I know this may sound harsh. No, it's not harsh. These women need their asses spanked by reality. But I think some people seriously need to tour a third world country at some point in their lives in order to develop some grit. Yeah, you are talking to the most, when you see that, you are literally, I'm not joking. This isn't even funny. The great one says this on his podcast regularly, but I actually believe it. You will find no more spoiled creature in the history of the world than Western women. They are completely spoiled. They have the entire world, in their world, lying to them, telling them they're oppressed. They get every possible handout. Everyone bows down. They can go online and make money showing their boobies. They get to major in dumbass crap, and they still get to think and act like they're oppressed. They are the most sheltered people you will ever run into in your life. I mean, unless you got to, like, I don't know. I got to imagine the British royalties even more elitist and pampered. But yeah, you've come from hard times create good men. You came from hard times and you are a good man or a woman, now. So you are a good man. These gals came from nothing but soft times and they cry when they have to do work. Anyway, I think my biggest drawback is that I don't have any previous dating experiences. I've been busy getting my life together as a teenager up until now to young adulthood. Yeah, and taking care of your family. And I think it'll continue to be this way unless I start taking some initiative. In our culture, we don't have sex before marriage. And once we're married for life. And our number one priority becomes family. All right, well, then maybe you do have to get an arranged marriage. Or at least go back to the home country. I'll tell you right now, I'm going to give you the same advice that I give other men who are here, who are Americans, but they're first generation. They're ethnically not Asian, or they're not American. They're Asian predominantly. And my buddy, I can't mention his name. He's American through and through. He just happens to be Vietnamese culturally. Even though he was brought up and raised in America, he ended up going back to Vietnam because there was still some cultural tenets and holdovers from his family. And he ended up marrying a nice Vietnamese girl, even though he was truly American. And then I've had a fair amount of other Asian, and by Asia, I mean all the way from the Middle East all the way to Japan. Well, not Japan. That's more, I haven't had anything from Japan, but China as well. Where they're like, geez, I came here to the United States, and even the gals in my gen, like, they're all American. It's like, usually, like, yeah, man, you just have to go back to your home country. Go back to India, go back to China, find a traditional girl. It's not just because of traditional. There's other cultural things. I don't even know what they are, but they're obviously operating like software daemons behind helping things out. And so if these are hard, fast rules, and it's part of your culture, you're going to have to go back to your homeland and find a guy. Maybe not arranged marriage. Maybe you go, and that's your dating, is you go back to wherever you're from. And you go and find a guy. Not many people I've met share the same conservative beliefs as me, and the ones that do are already married with kids. Yeah, those really traditional conservative dudes are largely Christian, though you'll find them in other serious religions, Islam, serious Jews, I guess Mennonites, and the Amish as well. So you're not gonna, and when you say no sex before marriage, you've canceled out pretty much any American man and most of the American men who are worth any value, because they're not going to tolerate women that don't have sex. I mean, not on the first date. I do know every great once in a while there's an exceptionally rare guy, but they've all been religious where they agree with that, but they're also very religious. But I don't even know if you got the same religion as them. I couldn't find more videos on the subject as a female fan. I was wondering what your thoughts would be and what you'd recommend to your sister if she came up to you with similar concerns. After all, your advice has gotten me this far in life already. Well, thank you very much. I'm glad at least my advice got you somewhere. What did I ask? And I'm going to, I guess, who do you want to marry? Traditional guy from back home country, America, How good looking are you? Send some pictures. And what measures you'd taken to meet them. I said I can't promise you anything. So then she sent over some pictures. You are definitely young and you have baby face. So it looks like you are pudgy, even though in this picture your body shows you are not. And guys have this problem too with baby face. They look fat, but they're not. And it's just a function. Well, it's a function of good skin, but it's also a function of youth. Now, unlike men, you can, being female, you got great, nice long hair. You'll grow into a very pretty woman. Not that you're not a pretty woman. You're just too young. You do look like a little kid sister I never had. You're going to have to use makeup. So for the here and now, we'll take this strategy one piece at a time. You're not wearing any makeup. You're going to have to wear makeup, and you're going to have to dress, advertising to the world that you're feminine, you're a female. I'm not saying dress like a slut, but do up your makeup, do up your hair, and have a pro do it. You need a makeover is what I'm saying, but you don't even have a way you do your makeup. You have no makeup on. So you need to go in and have a gal who knows what she's doing, maybe even a gay guy, give you a look. Okay. Do not cut your hair. Keep your freaking hair. I don't care what they say about cutting your hair. You keep your hair long. Your clothes look drabby. Where are you here? Yeah, there your clothes are drabby. Oh, is that your hobby too? Oh my goodness, I can't say anything. Well, you might be able to find there's some guys in this picture you sent me. These guys can't be the worst looking. Well, that guy's kind of funny looking, but okay, maybe in this sport you sent me, she participates in a sport, and there's some okay looking guys there. Maybe that's it. Yeah, look, you just got that baby face. So you are working out, you are training, but you need to look more feminine. Because right now you just look like you don't stand out. So I would get a wardrobe, wear heels, wear form-fitting clothing, try to get a makeup pattern or whatever they call it that thins your face and takes away from your baby face. Don't get the spray paint makeup on. I mean, just something that you can do at home every morning. It's not going to take things away. Got good hair. That's a nice hair. So that's part one of the strategy. Now, let me tell you why part one of the strategy is not likely not to work, because it's not what I'm banking on. I'm almost guaranteed with your cultural requirements, you're going to be forced to go back to your home country and find a guy. So you can, while you dress yourself up here and practice with makeup and put on heels and appropriate dresses, not slutty, but feminine, experiment, practice here. That's in preparation for when you go back to the homeland, if you can. I don't know why you couldn't. I'm trying to figure out what country you're from, frankly. That when you go there, you are also dressed feminine and appealing. Now, maybe you might have to tailor it for your home country. Maybe people dress there a little bit differently, but you need to look feminine, right? You need to look like a girl pushing woman, right? Not a young woman, but you look like a little girl right now with your baby face. So heels, fashionable attire, makeover, you're going to practice here in the States. And you know what? If you find a guy comes up to you at the grocery store and by gosh, statistically, he's okay with not having sex. He meets all your requirements. He's of the exact same religious background and cultural background. And oh my God, but that's a 1 in a billion shot, right? So then you'll go to your home country and that's really where you're going to do most of your work and try and find a guy is you're going to have to find him there. And that's the easiest way I could see you even coming close to the cultural requirements of having a husband. The second thing, third thing now, I guess, aside from going back there, while you're in the United States, you need to practice dating and you need to get comfortable interacting with men. Now you could go ahead and start dating. I think truthfully, because you've been through enough hard stuff and your background, you're not going to be intimidated by men, and that's good. You'll be able to be yourself. But still, I think it would be okay if you picked up some ballroom dance classes. That's just a nice, easy, gentle way to be introduced to the opposite sex and being comfortable around them if you've had no experience. Is it necessary? No, but it's a nice way. Again, you might meet a guy there, but that's not why you're going. You're just going there so you know how to interact with guys. Start dating, even if it is just to get practice dating. All right. I'm not saying go out with everybody. Find a guy you think is cute and go out with them. Go online. And another reason I want you to go online is not just so you get practice dating, but so you see just how few really good men there are out there. All right. There are not a lot. And I'm not talking they don't have a college degree. Okay. I'm sure you know that. But most guys, well, not most guys, a lot of young men are soy boys. They live at home. They're government sponges. They're soft, pathetic leftists who just think the government, they're not real men. Get used to that. And here's an upside to your home country. It's probably much harsher there. And so the men are going to be really more men, more masculine. But so just so you have an incentive and you know how hard it's going to be to find a guy here in the States that meets your cultural backgrounds or requirements, that way you'll be even more incentivized to pay attention and find a guy when you go overseas. I would also start putting up a profile overseas. So if you go there, you can meet some guys. Don't fall in love over the internet. Just meet some guys on the internet from your home country. Say, hey, I'm going to be coming, just establish some contacts. When you go to your home country, do not expect any success. Do not expect to fall in love. Do not fall in love within a month. Okay. Find a good couple guys if you can. But this is going to be a long haul, man. I know you're used to everything getting done, banging it out because you graduated early, you're getting your degree early, you're supporting you guys, but it's not going to work that way. You got to find the right guy. It may be until your late 20s that you find a guy. Please do a video if there are other girls out there like me who are in the same position. I don't think so. There's not a lot of gals that came from a foreign country, are really supporting themselves, are conservative or at least not a communist, and are looking for a traditional guy. They're not as grounded as you are. My parents literally came from one of the worst crap holes in the planet. And you got to tell me when I email you which one. So I don't blame them for being the way they are. Okay. All right. Especially now they're old and will never want to change the ways. It is what it is. But I respect my dad for going against the grain and bringing us to the U.S. to better our lives. Although I'd never marry someone back home because I know the way the men raised over there are religious extremists. Oh, so you can't go back. Well, how are you going to get people to meet your culture? To be honest with you, I don't care what background the guy is, so long as he isn't a nut job and treats others right. Okay, that's a little bit easier then. All right. So maybe you can find a religious guy here. You might have to convert to his religion. We're still, if you're not going to have premarital sex, you're still going to have to really disproportionately go to the religious places here. I don't care what background the guy's. I've seen my fair share of cruelty and greed in people. So I don't ask for much else other than competent, disciplined, and kind partner, preferably one that will consider adoption with me. Oh yeah, we haven't talked about the adoption. Oh man, you want something impossible. I'd make your adoption an optional thing, dude. I really would. Because that you already are going up against very near impossible odds. And a guy, if he wants to have kids, wants his kids. He doesn't want somebody else's mistake. And I'm sorry, that's what they are. They're somebody else's mistake. The kids are innocent, but they're still somebody else's mistake. And unless they're like infants, they already have issues. Aaron, I know, shut up, people. Not you. I'm talking the exceptional, but there's a tall Asian who plays basketball. Those people. I haven't taken any measures to meet men yet. You're going to have to start. I distrust dating websites and apps because of the dangers it poses with meeting strangers. You're going to have to go online. That's where like 80% of the traffic is going now, man, especially for your age. Everything's online now. But in today's age, I don't even know if there are other ways to talk to guys other than the internet. You could ballroom dancing. You joined a club, meetup groups. There's a club. There's some guys there probably. You're doing it right. You're doing it right. One of my biggest regrets up until this day is not approaching this man I really liked in the past because I felt I had to take care of my familial obligations first. Look at her English. Is he still available? And you did learn something. Hey, you want one up on the women? Here's how you can increase your chances of getting a man like 1 billion times more. And I'm not even joking, more than American women, infinitely more. You ask guys out. See, you actually have courage. You actually have balls. You actually have strength. You actually are brave enough to do that. You actually are equal to men in that regard if you're willing to ask out a guy. And girls will sit and pine and hope, and that's certainly a strategy, right? But hope is not a process. Ask anybody who voted for Obama. But if you see a guy that you like, ask him out. Just save your time, because if you want to have kids and adopt and all this other stuff, you do not have that much time. So go find that guy again. Get used to rejection. That's another thing. He may not want to go out with you. He may already be spoken for too. You don't know. You're going to have to ask him. Don't take it personally. Although I'm happy my parents and siblings are settled now with a place to call their own and not have anything to worry about. I still regret not taking the initiative with that man. It's been eating away at me for years. Well, do you have his name? Go find him. It's not that hard. You can almost find anyone unless his name's like Bob Johnson. Then you're kind of screwed. But I know for a fact I won't be making that same mistake again. Good. There you go. If I set out to do this the right way and I find an awesome guy, I consider myself the luckiest girl in the world. Let me know where you're at. Okay, everything I said about makeup, makeover, attire, shoes, you got to do that. Asking out men anytime you see them, if you want to ask, you ask them out. You're going to have to get over your fear of online dating because that's where everyone is going. Please contact me. When you set up a dating profile, if you set up a dating profile, run it past me first, because I just went through 900 dating profiles for my research, and women are horrifically bad. I know the men have bad dating profiles. I know. Oh my God, Tina, you girls are completely clueless on how to set up a dating profile. Just completely clueless. And I know you girls get like tens of thousands of responses. You do. I know. You get tens of thousands of responses, and none of them are good, huh? Wow, what a shock. You put out a shit profile, you get shit responses. Who saw that coming? So contact me. We're going to make that set and clear. Save you some time. Go ballroom dancing. Participate in other activities like the picture you sent me. That's a great activity. That's a great place. If you're okay with older men, I always tell women who are looking for more stable, serious men to go to cigar lounges. Go to the gun range. go to, but I don't want to say go to the Republican Party because, man, there are some soy there too. There's some real weak men. But yeah, you now you have to put yourself out there. You have to advertise. They're just not coming and knocking, right? They aren't. Keep your hair long. We talked about that. You're going to be I'll tell you this, you're going to be a catch because you have no debt and you have a real job and you're going into a real, any guy with keen eye. I could see, and maybe I said, yeah, but and here's the other thing, the no premarital sex, you are almost guaranteed to force yourself to go and date Christians or practicing penitent Jews, Muslims, whoever. But you really just cut that. And then I would take your desire to adopt off the table. Put that in your dating profile. Let people know I really would like to adopt, but you're going to have to yield on that. There you go. I'm sorry, kid. That's Aaron. Can you take this slingshot and tell me how to put that pebble on Mars? I'm like, I could give it a shot, kid. Think we got to get to the space station first, and then we need a really big slingshot with rockets, but we might be able to get it there. Oh, let's go to the super chat world. What we got? Nosy Emmer Father, you don't know me. $1.99. We got some new guys today. I don't know. Maybe it's Saturday night. Maybe this is everybody doesn't have a date. Too scared to date women if today with their drama. Yeah, she's got an advantage, her being foreign and actually having to work for a living and not coming from such a pampered background. I'm going to see. I don't want you guys emailing me, hey, I heard you got this girl. No, I don't know. I already have the guys that I've picked out. Andrew S. for $2. Marriage is the number one cause of divorce. Yeah, it is. You won't get divorced. Yeah, you're right, because I'm not getting married. Remember one gal, older lady, nice couple in my dance class. And they were trying to set me up with some gal. I don't think it was their daughter, but they knew some gal. Like, oh, are you dating anyone at the time? I'm like, not really. No, I don't. Oh, they want to know if I was married. I say, no. Oh, you got a girlfriend? I'm like, no. Oh, well, we got a nice girl you might like to be. I'm like, nah, that's all right. Because I think I was already dating 5. She's like, why not? I said, does she want to get married? She's like, yeah. She every girl. And I'm like, yeah, no, not really. She's like, well, are you afraid of being lonely and not having a girl in your life? I'm like, lonely? Heck, I'm dating 5 girls right now. And you could see her smile like the natural woman, like, ooh, he's an alpha. But then you. And just like, she knew. Hey, I can't get divorced if I don't get married. Not all girls are like that. Oh, okay, nice lady from the farmland community of Minnesota. Oh, our Polish agent in the field, Alex, $2. I recently looked up what a septic tank is. Yeah, don't they have those in Poland? I expect they would. It's not modern technology. Oh, God. All right, there we go. Boom. Hey. I wonder if he wants to come on. Did he come on? Let me see if he wants to come on and do the next one. Just bear with me, guys. This is my life. All right. To my buddy, I'll send you a link to the next one. We'll do another one. We will see you guys later. Toodles.